I really liked in the module when each of the weeks was split into a different focus on, always, of course, on the environment, but we did a week on spirituality and the environment. We did a week on theology, which sounds kind of weird because the whole thing is studying theology, but that one week was a particular focus on theology. And economics, I loved that day of lectures, especially because I think studying theology you might not otherwise encounter much about economics, but it's so like entwined with the environment and how it works, whether it makes financial sense to recycle something or stuff like that. It was great.
Yeah, it just really held those tensions, those everyday tensions, didn't it? And I guess the one thing that we all have in common is that we live in creation. There's nothing and nobody that doesn't experience life in that context. And so I think, for me, just the fact that the module addressed the holisticness of that.
For me, it was that How Bad a Bananas book. That's a really good book. On how much carbon is issued into the environment, even from emails and all the stuff like that. And I remember when we were sitting on that carbon literacy class, and we were given a task. A bus is going from here, I don't remember to which city up north, and I was thinking, an electric car would be like the most efficient way. But hey ho, it was just the bus. The regular bus would just give like 40 kg of CO2. So for me it was like I was amazed at how already people digged into that and already taken into consideration, hey, we are polluting the planet, we have to do something about it. And I was thinking like buses are the most polluting thing on earth, and then no, we already covered that. So it's
it's just about reflection, isn't it, really? That theology as you were saying, as a whole is about reflecting on why we make the choices we make, why we live the way we do. And actually I feel like to bring in the ecological perspective is just inseparable from the reflection. It's like the same, I guess, toolbox that we've developed through other modules and through looking at biblical studies and spirituality and whatever else. But it's just it's putting more stuff in your toolbox, I guess.
Thinking about the room, the people who are in the room, ordinands, independent students, and they've all probably studied theology to a certain level, and they all bring their own environmental concerns to a certain degree, but we all bring different things, whether that's someone's really passionate about wildlife, and then someone's really passionate about ethical clothing, and then someone's really passionate about something else, or none of those things. It's not like you have to turn up to those lectures with a bee in your bonnet about any particular environmental issue, but we're all there for a reason, because we want to be able to marry those things up better.
For myself, I was thinking, if somebody asks me a question, let's say, hey Alex, what do you think about this or that matter on environment? And I didn't want just to say dull, I don't know what to answer to you on that. But right now, just through books, through these discussions that we have in class, right now, at least for me, hey, we are in dire straits, we are really in grave danger, we have to shout out about it. It's not just your batteries that you are putting into the bin, it's something crazy. It's almost like planet is like a dumpster already. Just maybe stop it already, and get a shovel or something just to clear up something, it's something needs to be done. And if we are not on fire for that, then the congregation would just say, well, why should I bother, And if we understand that deeply, like for example, like Francis of Assisi did, then we at least go and do something about it. You see, he did it when it was 1200 somethings, and we still quote him on that.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's not that irrelevant.
Yeah, I think I definitely chose it because of the relevancy.
Yeah.
Like I guess I'm at the kind of age where actually like the climate crisis has always existed. And yeah, like I have a Franciscan spirituality, and my husband is a tree surgeon. So like all of these different things and these different experiences and parts of my formation, like have it's been woven and throughout. And so to be able to spend time with it and to lament and to learn and to reevaluate, it's just what I've needed.
Yeah, I was thinking of lament. I was thinking, has doing the module given us more of an awareness and acceptance, a readiness to lament, and maybe in the future with our congregations to lament? I was struck at times in the module just like the scale of the challenge, and thinking it's just so huge. Like how can we do anything useful? Or so there's that like despair and lament, and then you think, oh well, it's great that I can hold all of that in the context of believing in God and that it's His creation, rather than just thinking, well, it's about us and this is the earth and that's it, and we're ruining it. And
I think like lament can be uncomfortable concept, but like if the church needs anything right now, it needs honesty. So I think like for me, it's been really important to like not avoid the difficult reality that we're working within, and just to like really address what is actually happening, how bad it really is, and to not shy away from that and try and sugarcoat it and present this this optimism. It's not about not having hope, but it's about like really embodying what Christian hope is about, I think. And so having that mindset coming into it, it's meant that the lament of it hasn't felt negative and draining, although it's been a difficult thing to focus on. So I think you can quote Pope Francis on that from Laudato Si. Like when he describes everything that we've done already to the planet, he finishes up. Oh, you think, oh, he will finish up. Oh, let's sit down and just cry for an hour or two. But no, he says, like almost counterintuitively, he said, let us rejoice in God who can override all this. I'm putting it in my own words, but he is finishing up on those prayers which allow us to see God in the nature, God in every smallest being. And that's almost like, as I said yesterday, it borders with panentheism. But when you see, oh, that's why he says it. Oh, that's because it's his, because it does belong to him. Because we are so used to it, we can like, oh, that's taken for granted. It's as if you are turning on Windows. Oh, okay, yeah, it's the space. But without the guys who would program you that space, you wouldn't be able to do anything. I think one of the things that I learned that I'm really going to take away is a quote from Wendell Berry, the author and the farmer, who says like, oh, we look at our environmental crisis and we say like, well, he says we don't have the right to ask like if we're going to succeed in this. The only question we have the right to ask is what's the right thing to do, and to do it. So that's been just a snippet of a lesson that's just really really struck me in it.
Yeah, I love the fact that in the assessment we could choose, from seminal works on the environment, but also poetry, and it was quite a popular one. Wendell Berry's poetry, that task. Yeah, what does that say? Maybe it says that we're not we didn't want to choose the more technical text, but also maybe that like poetry and the arts like gives you a way to express all of these like, you know, hope, despair, all these feelings. And it's interesting that you're presented at times with a lot of science, right, or economics, or like hard facts about this is the state we're in, and we really go deep into that, like, oh, this is awful and that's terrible and that's just mind-boggling. You can't even imagine like how many people that affects or whatever. And then poetry is like an expression of like how we deal with that. It's it was great having that as a different side to it.